We have this Dave Burkett mock draft. He's got the Lions passing on Jalen Carter and taking the offensive lineman from Northwestern, Peter Skoronski. And then at 18 coming back, taking the defensive end from Clemson, Miles Murphy. But that 6th pick, I haven't seen a lot of people suggest, Braylon, the offensive lineman there.
Yeah.
And I don't hate it.
It's one of those situations, man. You're talking about a guy that can be a game changer in there, offensive guard. He plays tackle as well. Highest rated lineman in the draft by far. And you just look at what he can be, man. Look, he can be a piece. Lions offensive line, it's really good right now, but you're talking about Decker's missed some time. Ragnar's missed some time. Guys are getting older. Guys are having to get paid again. So you want to have a young guy that's going to be a stud. You want to have a guy that's – you guys always talk about these rookie deals. Well, here's your turns to get your stud. You see how these guys are moving. These guys play Rashawn Slaters of the world nowadays, man. You get these guys – and your offensive line goes to that next level. He's that guy. And then, hell, after his 4th year or 5th year, you can decide what you want to do with him. Maybe he's earned enough capital where he's a player, he's a piece where you can move. He's a piece where some teams want to give you this and that and the third for him, or he's a guy that you have on your team that gets you to that next level, the quarterback and the running game. So it can be an interesting value piece. Once again, when you put yourself in good situations for the draft, you can be open to many moves during the draft at that 6th pick overall.
Wait to 18 or the 2nd round to get your offensive line.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You have number 6. It's the last time you're picking in the top 6 in the next 10 years. Make it worth the while.
Everybody always says this is the last time you're going to be picking number 6 in the draft. Maybe not necessarily, though.
As you trade a player.
You trade players, you trade picks, like all that is. But I understand what Maz is saying. This is the last time your team is going to finish this bad to where you can know you're going to see one of these top 10 picks. But this is the tricky NFL nowadays. You can find a way to get a 1st-round pick. I mean, I saw Broncos have none, didn't have 2. So it happens like that.
Guys, we got a full rack of calls here. Oh my gosh. Let's just go down the row here. Bring in Chris. How you doing, Chris? You are on WoodwardSports.com. Thanks for the call, buddy.
I appreciate y'all for taking my call. How y'all doing, fellas?
Real
Chris,
fine, real fine.
How you doing?
I'm all right, brothers. I got a question, mainly because I don't get it. Because if guys like Kalijah Cansey is available at 6, I might have to go there because we still need a DP. I heard what you said, Braylon, about the offensive linemen and all that kind of stuff, but is that really a deep need that we have right now that we couldn't get later in the draft?
Well, I appreciate the call, Chris, and it's a great question. The question is for me, look, the Lions, no, that's not necessarily the need that I think that they need to go out and handle. I always have been a firm believer. Defensive tackle is the pick at 6. Defensive tackle is what you need. Defensive tackle is what can take that defense to the next level. It can take it over the top. So I'm a defensive tackle guy at number 6. I simply said what the Lions have done in the free agency so far in terms of bringing back players that have value to the team, the Lions don't necessarily need any immediate pick. They're in a position where they can pick a multitude of positions and be right, at that position. So this is when you trust Dan Campbell. Chris, this is when you trust Dan Campbell to be what you said he is. Oh my God, he got this guy and that guy, and look how this guy is playing, and look at these moves, and look at that move for this price. This is the time when we trust in Dan Campbell. I myself would not draft the offensive lineman, but you can get talked into any position group right now because of how well he's put this team together. That's what I think. Yeah.
Chris, you satisfied?
I trust Brett Holmes. One last thing I want to say.
Kenley is a good one.
I'm definitely satisfied, but my only thing is like this. Is that a BPA kind of pick then at that point?
Best player available? I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is. You just look at your board and say, who is the best player available? I do think it is that, Chris.
Definitely best player available, but you put yourself in that position. So,
hey, Chris, thanks for the call, buddy. Really appreciate it. Call back anytime, okay?
All right, I appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Chris.
You got
everything y'all do.
Thank you,
Chris.
sir. Thank you. Let's bring in Donovan. Donovan, you are on WoodwardSports.com. Mazaway looking at me over there. How you doing, Donovan?
Woodward Sports.
I'm doing all right, fellas. I appreciate you for taking my call.
What's up, Donovan?
Appreciate you placing it.
Hey, I just want to really make a statement about the trenches, man. This is my first time hearing about us potentially taking an O lineman with that 6th pick, and I'm honestly not mad at it.
I don't hate it either.
Yeah, because if you look at it last year, we saw what a great O-line did for a pretty average or regular running back with Jamal Williams, right? Gave him his best season of his career. So, Braylon, to your point, the running back is really – you don't really need a star running back nowadays. I mean, as long as you got that sure offensive line and you got enough weapons around your quarterback, I think we'll be fine. And also, D-line is where I prefer at that 6'6", but I'm not mad at the O-line either.
Yeah, not to mention, Donovan, I appreciate that too. But the guy that we brought in, David Montgomery from Chicago, this guy can run between the tackles. He can run outside the tackles. He gets away from tackles as well, which means he's a little faster than people give him credit for. He's 1,240 yards receiving in his 4 years, so he can catch the ball out of the backfield. It's not like we're trying to make some just okay average running back into a stud. He is a stud already. We just got him at a very, very, very good price point. So I think people are undervaluing that. David Montgomery, and don't forget, DeAndre Swift's still on your roster, ladies and gentlemen. So the running back field right now is in pretty good shape, Ryan Ermanni.
I don't consider 800 yards a year to be a special running back.
I didn't say special. I said, but he's already a stud. 800 yards here based on how many carries he's getting out there in Chicago. They haven't had an offensive line in 4 years. Last time they had an offensive line, their running backs were Tariq Cohen and Jordan Howard. And Jordan Howard had 1,400 and Tariq Cohen had 900. So he's a really good running back. Just played on a bad team.
I get it.
Bad coach, bad offensive coordinator. Everything was Matt Nagy. He just had a bad system over the past 3 years. He's definitely a damn good running back. He just needs a home, and I think he has one now.
Hey, I hope he's got it.
Yeah.
Donovan, you good? You got anything else quickly?
Yeah, really quickly. I know Maz just loves either a quarterback or a running back. I know you're in love with a quarterback at that pick, but I want to encourage you to go listen to that morning show if you haven't already. Adam, they ran through all the quarterbacks that in the past 10 years that were drafted, and it's very hard to hit on that pick. So I
get it.
I just would encourage you to listen to
But Donovan, the last quarterback we took was Matthew Stafford
in the first round.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. That was what, number one, right?
It was the first pick overall. They have not even tried to get a quarterback in the last 5 or 6 drafts.
What about what's her name from Friday? Felicia's son.
Bafferlat? Oh.
Felicia's son. Was it Kafka or what's his name?
Oh. Right, Kafka?
She's still struggling right now, man.
Yeah. Remember Kafka?
I do.
From Miami.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad.
Let me bring in Mac.
Thanks, Donovan.
Mac, you are on WoodwardSports.com. How you doing, Mac?
I'm doing good. How you fellas doing?
Appreciate you.
What's up, brother?
Yeah. I just want to say first, y'all need to stop it with the quarterback stuff. Okay, we need to fill that defensive line. I wouldn't mind a quarterback
Mac know
later
what I'm talking
on.
about.
Return to the Mac.
But
Khalil Mack.
That D tackle. At 6, I'm thinking if Carter is not there, I really would prefer to take a defensive tackle. I mean, let's just say Holmes doesn't. At least do it somewhere in the first 2 rounds. I really think we need to fill that hole. That's a big void in our defense if we don't do that. Not that I don't like the guys we have, but if it was up to me, I agree. At this point, I don't think we need a corner at 6. I still would take one, just not at 6. And I would take a defensive tackle. The next pick, I'm going best linebacker available in the first round, in my opinion, because I think we need to fill that area as well. But I'm not going to knock anything Brad Holmes does. Just don't do the quarterback in the first round.
Why not just sign Bobby Wagner instead of drafting some rookie? I mean, seriously.
Will Bobby Wagner want to come here? That would be my thing.
Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, I mean
you never know with these
how
players.
you view Detroit isn't how he views Detroit yet. Potentially, Mass. I mean, that's maybe not why he wanted to come here. But, I mean, Bobby Wagner is somebody I want to come here. I've been wanting to come here for a while. I wanted him to come last year. He goes to the Rams. I want him to come this year. We re-signed Alex Anzalone. I just think you got to the point now where, the price point he's at, where Brad Holmes is at spending that money and where he's at saving that money. You paid Anzalone. You still got, Malcolm Rodriguez. You're going to draft a linebacker in the 3rd round probably because that's where the majority of the linebackers are graded at, 2nd and 3rd round. So they're going to draft the linebacker regardless of that. So I think where they're at, Bobby still will work. But I think for what he's doing, the money he's saving, he's already paid Anzalone. He's going to draft a rookie linebacker that'll be playing by week 7, week 8.
Hey, Mac. Yes,
sir.
What if C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young are on the board at 6? You still hate taking the quarterback?
I don't hate it, but to me that's still a gamble. But I mean, I'm not going. You can't pass on talent. At that point, it's best talent available.
Yeah.
But the catch to it is does Brad Holmes consider that best talent available at the same time?
We'll see in April.
Fair
CJ
enough.
Stroud?
Fair enough.